challenging. Thou hast heard my voice. Hide not thine ear at my breathing. Had my cry. Persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens, O Lord. In Jesus' name.
Only knew that lifestyle, didn't know better. Became what I saw, locked up writing letters. 15 years and I did all my time. Didn't know Jesus, back on the grind. Some stayed solid, some dropped dimes. Couldn't trust nobody, the devil always lying. Couldn't trust nobody, the devil always lying. Couldn't trust nobody, the devil always lying. Throwing up that West Coast, what I used to do. Now I'm with Jesus, I'm brand new.
Started from the end, but God made something to this. Started from the end, but God made something to this. Yeah. Nothing from something I ain't gotta prove. Them days were so cold, made you like a cooler. We started from the bottom, just like a stool, but God brought us out like a bag of manure. 30 in the hood where they shoot like Curry. Some days, man, I was worried. Had to pray, Lord, have mercy on. I was protected the whole time. When I looked up and seen more time, I was down bad, but I came up on a slow grind. Then I got some.
Christ, I don't mind and we gang. If I'm a rap anything, it's the Lord's name. I ain't worried about no man-made set to claim. I'm trying to get locked up in them chain things. If about anything, gonna be really the boss. He gon' really have to be the one that died on the cross. You know the one that came and found me when I was lost? I'm never cocky, he the reason why I got the floss. I searched all.
Look, I eat, sleep, and I pray. I keep my head up when I have a bad day. Be a web cubby, but we never fade away. But just for a guy, I might hit him with a J.
Rockin' G.O.D. Let's rock. Read some 91 and 16. I know you feeling it, bob to the beat. They were mad, he can't ever get to me.
Look, let me slow it down a little. Step to the left, then slide to the middle. Raise them hands, thinking you ain't in the hospital. Be a web, change the game, told the devil like a nickel, yeah.
Let's dance, couple.
I had to grind like that, so I could shine like this. I had to grind like that, so I could shine like this. Let's go. You gotta grind to shine. You gotta find the time. If you tryna grow, you gotta believe it. Everything starts in the mind. I had to grind like that, so I could shine like this. I had to grind like that, so I could shine like this. Let's go. You gotta grind and shine. You gotta find the time. If you tryna grow, you gotta believe it. Everything starts in the mind.
I'ma go hard on this one. I'ma keep it real on this one. You said I was too holy on the last one. I'ma keep 100 on this one. I'ma go hard on this one. I'ma keep it real on this one. Said I was too holy on the last one. I'ma keep 100 on this one. Sold out for the kingdom. Mindset on the kingdom. Here on earth with the visa. Can't wait to see Jesus. Other rappers don't say his name. They don't even wanna say his name. Want all the fame that came with it. Don't wanna say that God did it.
On me, I couldn't earn your forgiveness. Don't deserve your forgiveness. Should've burned from my wickedness, but you show mercy on me.
They look at the cross to see if it's true. Will it be able to carry the weight? Lost when he found me, I was struggling to bury the shame. Killing evil out for a piece of this flesh barely remains. Cut some people off, but it was my flesh that was the primary pain. Screaming, God don't love me, it isn't fair, he's fake. But if it wasn't for God and his mercy, I wouldn't be married today. How could I continue leading this double life? Can't clean the dead things, gotta leave these troubles behind.
I get the ain't right, poppin' like an automatic. Call on my daddy when they want the static. Call on my daddy like it was a habit. Call on my daddy when I gotta have it. My brothers on me cause I be an addict. Plus me finna lock this up. Anyone walking up, gonna get that remedy when I be popping up. Gonna kick the energy when I be hawking up. Spiritual artillery like it's bombing us.
To that day, I swear to you, I never knew what cold was. I heard them shots buck behind my vertebrae, mixed with the sound of my throwaway. Cause I'ma fight for mine, it ain't no other way. You fight to live and live to fight another day. I can't believe all that I done did. They walk the world talking to these kids, telling them my story, trying to help them stay up out the streets. Now I'm about to die out in the streets. I can't believe that. That's not what I'm gonna think, not what I believe, not what I'm gonna speak. Felt angels all around me. I know that sound deep, but I knew God had a different plan for me. True story.
This is not how the story ends. Keep the faith, persevere, my friend.
don't kill you, it make you stronger. Yeah.
Good morning, guys.
God bless me with a gift and a vision that don't include me locked up in the prison, living out my last days
where we're at right
in
now.
the system. And since we on the subject of death, they killed Nipsey. I ain't even lying, that hit me different. Cause all I ever seen cuz doing was spreading wisdom. Trying to fix the things he destroyed, he started building. The same people he tried to save, they still killed him. That could have been me laying on the pavement. Mama crying, making my arrangements. Friends speaking on me, trying to offer comfort to my babies. The way we hate each other is contagious. Sometimes I wish I would have been alive on them slave
I just want this to play out. I'm just feeling this right now.
that we came with. I was sent to help free the slaves that I came with. Money, fame, and drugs, them I changed. That's our slave ship. True story.
Hey, that is it. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing today? This is your boy Christian Israel, and you are tuned in to Christ in Crypto here in the morning. Whew, it is Wednesday, February 16th, and we are hitting the back test right now. On our way back, there's a lot of rumors, a lot of wars going on, and I am just happy that you guys are here with me today. We have a big deal, a lot of news going on. We're going to talk about the SEC, Gary Gensler being on Fox yesterday, Fox Business, and there was a little thing going on there. I hope the sound is okay right now. I'm messing with the mic settings. I decided that I'm going to get a new mic, so I'm going to go get a new one today and try to get out because there's construction going behind my house right now, and the DART here in Dallas is being built, and there's a new train kind of metro thing being built, which was woods behind me, but now it's all and anyway, they're ripping it down. So if you hear some beeping in the background, that is just construction for the next 3 years. Anyway, guys, we're also going to talk about some more crypto FUD that's going on out there. And what else is on the docket before we kick it? Oh, yeah, just some little other news going on there. Social credit score we're going to talk about in America on the Utah digital license. Social credit score. So these are some things. I'm glad you guys are here today. I hope, again, the sound is not too much. I am testing some things here. So thank you guys so much today. Let's go ahead and pop off that intro. Let's go. All right, let's go. Let's kick it today. So right off the jump, let's go ahead and check out the market because we know it is red right now. Over the last 7 days, Bitcoin is just even at 1.5%, Ethereum 1.9%. XRP is officially down 7.6% over the last 7 days. We know yesterday that was different, but XRP is creeping back up at number 6 on the spot. So, what do we see going on in the market today? We're, of course, going to get you with some TA, let you know what's going on there, because I know a lot of guys want to kick into that. So, now I can take this off and really get going because I had the headphones on and then I could hear my own voice. And that's just really weird to me. So, let me take that off. Let me smooth it out a little bit. And now we are back. So, this is what's going on in our market today. This is a crazy little chart here with Bitcoin specifically. So, we're not really going to pay too much attention to this because I have not updated that, but we're going to slide this fib right on over and check out Bitcoin just to see where we are. And we can see right there we have broken below the 2618, which is 44,100. The breakout target of that bull flag here was 4719. We did not quite make it. We actually went ahead and topped out at 4,500 over the weekend, or 45,800 over the weekend, and now we are down about $2,200 on this Wednesday morning, or points, as they would say, because people don't like to say dollars. Points, because it's not actually dollars if you're holding it right now, technically, until you switch it to a currency. So, we are going to say, I don't know, what, did we come to a decision after that? I did. I came to the decision of that right there. So we're going to say that is where we're going. So right now, again, for me, this is a no trade zone. It's been a no trade zone, mainly in XRP, and we'll get to that in a second. But you really got to understand, we're trying to figure out some things here, because even when we bring out to the 8 hour, and I know it's a lot, on the overall, we're between the 0.5 and the 4224. Okay, I'm sorry, and the 0.382 of 42,424. So why do I say all this? Because I plan on our top being around $50,222. We could get a wick up, but I think that is our top. A wick up to $54,000, and so we're on our way slowly grinding. But I do not think that this is done. I think we need to come back down, get a scare, come back down to 38K, which would backtest some things on this up. So I think we have a 38K backtest within us, 39K over the next 4 days. I would like to see, with Monday over the weekend and then us taking off. I think we're very, very, very close, guys. But we're not up and up. Now, do we get a new bottom, a new low? I would not like to see one. I would like this to be done. But if we were to come back in and test this triangle right now, let me get you guys an arrow. If you're even watching at this moment, you could just be listening. So thank you to those who are just taking a listen on in. So let me explain this verbally. Right now, we're at $43,665. Now, from here, if we were to go ahead and go down, the main next test of support is $42,000, basically $400. Okay, that is what we're looking at support on this move. I still think, and now others, and I'm going to get a TA guy on here later that's just going to talk, not today, but another day that's going to just talk nasty TA to you. So if you like to talk TA and you like to get down and dirty with it, we're going to get real in-depth in that and do some TA and some charting and do some debating on here. I'm going to get some new shows going. I'm excited about that. So here, this is the Bitcoin Rocka. We go down to 42.4. And I also can see us, once we break through there, I really see us coming back and testing the levels of 38, 39K. Not create a new low under the 32K, but that would also give us close to a back test of the breakout triangle that we had, or the descending wedge that we had down here that is breaking out, that we have yet to back test. We have not yet back test this descending wedge. So when this goes back down, guys, this is not world ending. It is actually better. It is what we are looking for in the Bitcoin. We want the Bitcoin to come on down, touch 37 to 38K. That should give us a back test in all crypto, and it should pull, because you see these running. You're seeing these 15, 20% pop slowly, 10%. Things are running. It's revving up. It's just like you're at the starting line, and vroom, 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 vroom. That's what it feels like right now. So as we get this going, we're gonna go ahead and retest our lows, fill some things, close some shorts, right? And then from that point, we are off and running to 50 to 54K for Bitcoin, which will get the alts rocking and rolling. And the same with XRP. Now, XRP, you guys know I'm all about the parabolic curves, watching that as well, breaking through under the 50% on the different fibs. Like all things that I chart, I really look for the 0.5. That's why you see that yellow and highlighted. Each time frame that I have here, if you are looking at a screen right now, my volume's a little low. Oh yeah, let me turn it up real quick. Let me see. Let me turn this up. Let me see. Is that better? I see. Different fibs. Is that better? I have it in my ears. It seems like it's really turned up. So, you let me know if that's any better, my friend. I'm going to take this back down, and if I just need to get closer to the mic, if that also helps you as well. Okay, so what we have, I hope I just didn't cause some squeaking. So, and the reason I kind of turned it down too is because I need to really soundproof this room, but I can't because I've got windows here and a really thin door that I'm going to replace. I'm going to try to soundproof this so it'll be better. Anyway, so with XRP, this is part of the move down. I think, honestly, 81.2, we should see a nice bounce, but when we get back to the 82.177 range, that should tell, oh, hold on. Let me fix that. There we go. Now that gives me something a little bit different. Hold on. Let's do this. We're going to reset this. I thought this was from earlier. This is not. That's from yesterday. All right, but we still are under this long. It's still the same thing. Under that long trend flip, come, look, 50 back test, wicked off of that. Okay, guys, so what I'm really looking for, I know we just failed. We went up and wicked to 86, which was a wonderful short, which right up to that. And I think that was a little squeeze, brought us back in the parabolic curve, and now it's breaking back down. Of my parabolic curve target, I have at least 78.3 cents coming back down. I do not think this down move is done. I'm pretty close to saying I really hope it's not done because I'm ready to load this up. And again, Bitcoin I see coming back to 39, 38, 40, somewhere in that area sooner rather than later. I would like for some kind of whatever's going to sell it off to do that. Let me see. Let me go and click on my squawk and see what's going on here. I don't even think this is muted. Let me mute. Okay, so yeah, the NASDAQ, yep, Dow down. So we should see everything else coming on down, doing what we need and seeing, excuse me, not coughing your ear there. I'm going to get water. And I know it's really loud when I do that too. So I am so sorry. But we're going to do it. My emotional support water bottle for anybody who's curious. So whatever's going to break here, you got the NASDAQ down. I think we're going to see some other things go down today, if not throughout the week. Again, I'm going to repeat one more time. I see XRP coming down to at least 78 cents. I know the little brother has a buy at 77 cents in the area. That's his long that he's looking for. He's looking for possibly a wick up to 91 and then coming on back down. Man, the more I talk, this happens. Whew. Like it starts to, give me 1 second. Okay, I didn't want to do all that in there. It's like the more I talk, it like dries my mouth out. So I'm trying to drink some water. But you got to go. This is why people have hosts, because when you just have to talk on your own. Man, as a kid, I never thought this would be hard to do. I just watched myself, so I've got the replay over here. I'm watching myself right now turn around and see the back of my head. Then I turn back around, and I feel like doing it again. So let's jump into, let me see, real quick. Man. Let's see. What do we have on tap? Where are you at? Okay, I need a break. So I'm going to break some breaking news here, and then we're going to jump into this. Give me 1 second. Let's check the breaking. So let's go ahead and jump into this Fox News Live yesterday. And this is the whole thing we're going to play with Gary Gensler on Fox News. And it's about 11 minutes long. So let's go ahead and check it out. And if you haven't watched it yet, let's go.
Crypto in the crosshairs again. News breaking this afternoon that the Securities and Exchange Commission is scrutinizing the relationship between the U.S. arm of Binance, that's the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, and two trading firms with ties to Binance's founder, Changpeng Zhao. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that the two market maker firms, Sigma Chain and Merit Peak, have been controlled by Zhao, but that those relationships were allegedly not disclosed to investors or customers. This latest news only adds to the very detailed focus the SEC has been giving to the crypto space, and as the multi-trillion-dollar market for digital money continues to grow, investors eagerly await news on how the SEC plans to regulate it. Let's see if we can find out and get some news here. Joining us now on a Fox Business exclusive, SEC Chair Gary Gensler. Welcome, Chair Gensler. We appreciate you being here.
Good to be back with you, Liz.
Look, I know you don't speak to individual cases, but on this breaking news about Binance, can you tell us why something like a crypto exchange not disclosing relationships with market makers is an issue or would be an issue for the SEC?
So let me take it to a little higher level. Most of the activity in this asset class, as you said, $2 trillion, is happening on centralized exchanges or lending platforms. And you saw yesterday we had an announcement that I can speak about with regard to one of the large lending platforms. And why does it matter if 95% of the activity is happening there? What's important is investors get basic investor protections against fraud and manipulation. And as many of the tokens on these platforms may well be securities, that's where the Securities and Exchange Commission comes in.
Well, you're talking about the BlockFi settlement, where BlockFi paying out $100 million for handling or at least putting together, allowing people to park their crypto in an exchange, at least an account for a pretty incredible monthly interest payment. You said that those were unregistered and that they have to register. Is BlockFi now registering? Can you at least give us an update on that?
Well, they entered into a settlement arrangement to do so in a timely way. And importantly, what we found there is that not only was it not complying with what's called the 1933 Act or registration, but also the Investment Company Act of 1940, offering the public returns by pulling those assets and investing those assets, the crypto assets. But we're working with them. We're trying to see if we can get this whole area, these crypto exchanges and lending platforms, inside an investor protection envelope. And then if the public wishes, based upon that, to invest or even to speculate, that's up to the public. But to have the basic protections of protecting against fraud, manipulation, to have disclosure, these are the things that we have in our stock markets, and really important if this technology is going to go anywhere.
Well, I get it, because you want to protect investors, and I truly believe that that's at the heart of what you try and do. But it has been an exponential growth spurt that we have seen. I mean, did you see the Super Bowl, Gary? All of those crypto commercials, they had them calling it the Crypto Bowl.
Well, but just think about this, Liz. In 2005, the advertisements of this Super Bowl were a bunch of mortgage companies like AmeriQuest, which that was right into the 2008 crisis. Back in 2000, there were 14 Super Bowl ads about .com companies, many of which went defunct later. So I wouldn't sort of confuse the advertisement with the credibility behind some of this or the viability of these projects.
Well, let me tell you why I'm not. Banks have advertised in the Super Bowl. They've gone under. Certain, drink companies. It's part of sort of the free market, and I understand that this is very much a brand new and nascent investment operation or opportunity for people, but it really feels like it's been a transformational 12 months. I mean, you look at how many people and businesses are choosing to invest in or accept cryptocurrency. So I want to get to the SEC's approval of futures ETFs, Bitcoin futures ETFs. My question to you is this: you've rejected a bunch of offers when it comes to Bitcoin spot ETFs, whether it was Skybridge or all kinds of names. You had Grayscale's application that's being assessed at the moment. You've rejected Wisdom Trees, Fidelity, Krypton. Cite every single time the SEC cites, you need more to know about how they're going to prevent share manipulation, fraud, and lack of liquidity. What could any of these funds that are dying to get their ETF out there say to you that would get you to yes when it comes to preventing manipulation?
Well, again, I don't want to get ahead of any specific project, and it comes in front of our 5-member commission. But generally speaking, what's really important is these underlying markets, Bitcoin and the other markets, the underlying cash markets, are trading on exchanges, and those exchanges, I continue to say, come in, work with the SEC, register under the securities laws. It's probability weighted, but you've got 75 or 500 or thousands of tokens on your platform. It's pretty unlikely none of them are securities. So we did this working with BlockFi, trying to find a path forward and protect the investors at the same time.
But here's where I get confused. If you're comfortable with a futures ETF on Bitcoin, why are you not comfortable with a spot ETF for the underlying security of the futures ETF?
So let me just walk through a little bit. The staff looked at this very closely over a number of years, actually. And Bitcoin futures that you referenced, trading on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, that Chicago Mercantile Exchange has had a regulated market since 2017 by our sibling agency, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, an agency I was once proud to chair. So you should know, I think really well of the CFTC. So that's part of that framework. We don't have that framework for the underlying cash market at this time.
Okay, I want to move on to a lawsuit that the SEC has filed with against Ripple XRP. And again, without commenting on specifics, because I know you don't, what's the SEC's theory on certain elements of the crypto world that are considered securities, which would subject them to the SEC's stricter purview, versus currencies which are not held to that kind of purview?
So it's pretty straightforward, actually, is that in the 1930s, after the collapse of the markets and the public getting defrauded, there was a basic bargain, and Congress wrote with a very broad brush the definition of security. And they included like 32 different terms. And amongst those terms, the conceptual framework was the public investing money, anticipating profits on the efforts of others. And the Supreme Court in the 1940s and multiple times since then have had the same approach. My predecessor, Jay Clayton, said it as well as I could say it, that in looking at these tokens, it's rare to find one that isn't doing that. The public is investing, hoping for a profit based on the efforts of some other group.
Okay, but that's with any investment. There is that caveat emptor, buyer beware element to all of the stock market. What confuses a lot of people, Gary, and if you could really clarify here, is, where do you draw the line, the distinction between what is a security and what is an actual currency? Example A, what Ripple did, selling XRP to build out its underlying blockchain network, no different than example B, Ethereum floating an ICO, a coin offering to help its underlying Ethereum blockchain. There is no difference, a lot of people say.
None. So Liz, you started by saying you weren't going to ask me about specific cases. And so if I can help the audience.
I said example A, example B.
Yeah, but I help the audience know that it's not, I'm not really allowed to talk about specific cases, but it's pretty straightforward. Raise money from the public, as you say. We have a basic bargain of full and fair disclosure and anti-fraud protections, and you register with the government agency called the Securities and Exchange Commission. And that's really what we're trying to do, is help continue with that basic bargain. We're technology neutral. If people want to invest or speculate in this field, then these tokens, and most importantly, the platforms, the trading and lending platforms, come in, register, do it within the law, not trying to skirt the law.
Okay, we've got so much more to talk about. I do want to quickly ask you about payment for order flow. This, of course, was an issue that came to the forefront during the meme stock craze a year ago, January. The question became, is it a conflict of interest? On the one hand, I do get that there are people who look at this situation and say, well, wait a minute, brokers are getting, are getting paid by market makers just so that individual investors can have free commission trades. On the one hand, it is helpful to the market, but is the answer to ban payment for order flow, Gary, or simply solidify disclosures so that investors can make their own decision about whether they want to pay a commission and not deal with a market maker?
So we're looking at the SEC as to how to facilitate and drive greater efficiency in this market so investors get a better deal. Payment for order flow, as you mentioned, is a payment between a broker that a broker receives for your order flow, and there are inherent conflicts of interest there. We're looking at how we can ensure greater competition. When you place a market order in the U.S., a market order at a retail platform, well over 90% of those trades go straight to the dark market, to a wholesaler that bought that order flow rather than competing trade by trade. And that's what we're trying to think through under the authorities we have.
Sounds like there are a lot.
Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? Okay, Liz killed it. She killed that interview. Did she not? I mean, I think she killed it. She killed it. What's going on, Dragonfire Crypto? Good morning. And my brother Bullish on XRP, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. That was good. Right? Like that was some good stuff there. That will be some good stuff. Please back that up. Like that was good. Hit it on the BlockFi, right? My leather chair is there we go. We hit it on the BlockFi. That shakedown by the SEC, Dragonfire, you were 100% right. They shook down on that. We talked about the money flows, and so you guys at the end, we'll get to the Ripple part in a second. But money flows, what that means is when they had to stop the trading, right? They had to halt trading for AMC or Robinhood specifically, right? Because these guys, traditional markets are a lot like the banks, right? They're out there lending and borrowing and betting and spending money that doesn't exist. So when hedge funds or some of these other things take your money, they go flip it, they pay you a dividend or whatever they do, but they're also out there shorting the market 10, 20, 30, 40x by telling you to long the market. So there's all this money moving that's not even non-existent, which is why she was asking questions about, your spot ETF versus spot Bitcoin ETF versus futures. And when he said the CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, what Gary was speaking about, that's where the futures came in 2017. And when the futures came in 2017 at the CME, what it actually did is that's when popped the bubble and everybody, screamed Trump was pushing to pop the bubble. So that's interesting there with the money flows and all that. But then what was cool is she then hit him with the example A and example B. Like, oh man, she killed it. Like, really good job here. That is the best interview I have seen. And you can see him. Like, you can see him sweating as she asks the questions. And it's great. Like, he got adjusted and looked uncomfortable at one moment, and she hit him with it. And what's impressive is his ability to BS. He throws a CFTC out there right there. He talked about that the Futures Trading Commission, right? Commodities Futures Trading Commission, CTFC. And he's like, I used to chair it. But at the same time, bro, like, come on, man. Anyway, this is what we're looking at right now. And what's crazy to me is he slipped in there. There are few that don't do that. It's hard to find some that aren't. So that means there are some that aren't. But he will not say what isn't a security versus a currency, right? And that's my thing. Like, come on, dude. For real. Like, come on. So this is where we see. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, yeah, his body language is it all, right? Gary's body language tells it all with the straight. Yeah, you can just really see it. You can see anytime these guys come on now, man, they're just shaking and moving and not comfortable. But man, right? Like, wait, and I heard him say we at the SEC. Boy, we. You said we, comma, at the SEC, comma, continues his statement, right? Bill Hinman, we. Who's we? I mean, it's just so clear as day what they're doing, moving. They're just kind of moving. And he can't talk about any specific thing. But again, he mentions that there is something that is good to go there, and it doesn't involve that. And something written from 1930s, and then the security in 1933, and it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's like they speak in circles, and we can't do anything unless Congress makes a decision. Right, and that's kind of where the SEC is standing. Gary the Gizzard Lizard or whatever, Monty Burns here, Mr. Monty Burns states over and over again. But when he was a teacher at MIT, this man knows it all. So don't let anyone fool you. This man knows crypto probably better than almost anybody outside of the actual builders of crypto. Like, he knows it. He knows the details. He knows Ethereum had an ICO. We just also know he's a Goldman Sachs boy. So I haven't told anybody yet, but this is the first time today. If you have not hit that like button yet, please hit that like button. If you don't like Gary Gensler, hit the like button 3 times. If you like Liz, hit it 5. If you just want to know what I'm doing, just trying to get you to hit that like button, brother, to get the algorithms going. I appreciate you all. My name is Christian Israel. This is Christ and Crypto. It is 9:30 in the morning. It is February 16th, Thursday. And in the markets right now, there are some things going. We have a little bit of a correction, but on the hour, it has calmed down since the equities have opened. Literally, even across the board, Bitcoin is exactly where it was an hour ago, 8:30 right then, 8:30 Central Time, 9:30 Eastern Time. $43,672 is Bitcoin. Ethereum's back over 3,000 at $3,073. Good old BNB is sitting at $427. And XRP is coming for that number one spot. Sitting at 6th, though, at 81.9. And those are your top, well, let's throw Cardano in there at 108. And those are your top 5 coins if you exclude Tether and USDC. Number 1, Bitcoin. Number 2, Ethereum. Number 3, BNB coin. Coming in at number 4, XRP. And number 5, Cardano, also known as ADA. So that's what's going on here, man. We've already hit that news. We just missed the first 30 minutes of the show. There was, we talked about Gary Gensler. We talked about a little bit of TA, as we can see. I personally am expecting this to come down to eventually 38,000. If it breaks through 42.2, I expect at least a back test of 42,400 incoming sometime in the next day or two. Specifically today, if Russia's Kalindi event invite to Ukraine for war happens. I know they should talk about cyber attack and shutting it down. So we'll see what news pushes these markets. But the NASDAQ also is down right now, guys. Let me pull that up real quick. The symbols, the NASDAQ. I'm going to roll this over and tell you. I know it's probably right behind my shoulder. The NASDAQ is, the NASDAQ is down 1.28%, which would kind of line right up there with crypto. Again, we watch the NASDAQ for I believe how crypto is going to move, and it's back testing the 0.702 right now. And just in case you guys are curious, we can just go ahead and pop it right on the screen. Boom. And we're going to zoom in to the 5-minute because we're on the daily. We're going to hit that auto. Bang. Now we can see exactly what's going on. You see here we're back testing on the fib, the 0.702 of $14,392. We just hit resistance of the 0.786 right at 14,450. So that's where we are right now. So on our way to see what is going on. So let's move on to the next topic. And this next topic is crazy to me. Crazy to me. But we're going to kick it off just like this. People said, why are we paying attention to the World Economic Forum? They have nothing to do with America, right? Let me see if I can sign into this real quick. I know I have a money, clothes, and diamond rings to be. That song's just in my head. Happy. Now, yes, I just signed into the World Economic Forum, by the way. Just in case you're curious, I do have an account with them. So I get to read and look at everything that these guys have. So World Economic Forum is basically where they tell you how they run the world. Where they tell you what they're going to do. What's going on with crypto, right? Like, I mean, this is just in case you're curious. I'm going off on a little tangent here, but you can see just by typing in crypto, you have all types of things that they did with what are crypto trends for 2022, right? That actually, you know what? That is going to be tomorrow's. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow, even though it's mid-February. It's an old article, but we can check it out. So this is what I do. I go in there. I'm in World Economic Forum, which is pretty nice. So now let's go to hear what we're here for. And this is where it's talked about, is the digital identity. So we're going to talk about the social credit score here. We're going to hit that social credit score. Digital identity can help advance inclusive financial services. So they're going to push digital identity to say it's better for finance, right? Now, we see this going on in Canada right now, which is why I say Canada is making the best crypto commercial right now. They are absolutely making the best crypto commercial. And what do I mean by that? I'm going to play it for you real quick because Canada is really, really a part of this World Economic Forum thing. And so let me go ahead and jump on, and I'm going to play this for you and turn the sound on. Let's give it a shot.
First, we are broadening the scope of Canada's anti-money laundering and terrorist financing rules so that they cover crowdfunding platforms and the payment service providers they use. These changes cover all forms of transactions, including digital assets, such as cryptocurrencies. The illegal blockades have highlighted the fact that crowdfunding platforms and some of the payment service providers they use are not fully captured under the Proceeds of Crime and Terrorist Financing Act. Our banks and financial institutions are already obligated to report to the Financial Transactions and Reports Analysis Centre of Canada, or FINTRAC. As of today, all crowdfunding platforms and the payment service providers they use must register with FINTRAC, and they must report large and suspicious transactions to FINTRAC. This will help mitigate the risk that these platforms receive illicit funds.
By the way, man, my voice comes in really loud, doesn't it? By the way, she just said that they are going to track all donations, all money to anybody and everybody. And then they're going to cut it off if they deem you to be a threat. Right now, this channel, me saying this is technically deemed a threat. Misinformation. This is not just the greatest Bitcoin commercial ever created. This is the greatest crypto to transfer, to get, and I'm not a get rid, banks are not going away, but you need to have an outside source. If you are 100% just set on the banks, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle because they're going to shut you down. They are definitely going to shut you down eventually. Why? Because they're working their way again to digital identity. New digital will empower people to heal society from a pandemic, right? Before, remember, they were pushing vaccine passports, but now all these things are opening up, all those, but they were pushing it. They were trying to push it just like when they tried to push it to got it, right? But this article is from, April 2021, so this is a year ago. And this is them pushing and pushing. So why do I bring these guys up? Okay. Because this article came up from 4 months ago. This is 4 months ago. Is Utah's new mobile driver's license social media scoring systems from China. Social credit score from China. What? Like, what are you talking about? Well, I'm not going to read this article, but this is a little bit of it. Okay, it says, the state of Utah in the United States is launching a digital driver's license pilot program to test a driver's license that would be installed on your personal mobile phone. According to some observers, Utah's new program would use China's social credit scoring system. Here is a photo of it below. I'm going to take this and tab. Open image, a new tab. But no. Oh, what? There we go. I'm going to zoom in. And this is what it says, okay? It says here. Below are some of the items that will be tracked or can be added at a later time. This is digital driver's license in Utah. Health records, vaccine records, financial reports, credit scores, travel records, taxes, vehicle registration, spending, voting, sex offender status, licenses and permits of all kinds, dietary preferences, outstanding parking fines and fees, background checks, reward programs, and social credit score. What? Social credit score, background checks, reward programs. Again, why do I show this? This is blockchain. This is crypto. This is what's going on. This is what's going on behind the scenes. People need to know this because you need to know what you are investing in. Crypto's behind. This is blockchain all day. This is blockchain. This is blockchain to lock you down again. Man, in the end times. I got to watch me saying that around my house because that can be sad. I've learned that because I talk about prophecy a lot, and it upsets me. It's sad. It upsets me because you see the world. You're like, don't you all see it? Don't you see what's going on in the world? The social credit score, the government right here on your license know everything about you. Anybody who scans that license knows not just your license, right? But everything about you. Everything. Health records, vaccine reports. I know that's HIPAA. I mean, that's got to be HIPAA all day. Why is your health records and vaccine records? Health record, vaccine record. Shouldn't that be the same thing? That should tell you something. They're putting that 2 different categories. Financial reports. Why are my financial reports on my driver's license? Let's talk right there. Why are my financial reports on my driver's license? No one needs to know that. Why is my credit score on my driver's license? Why are my travel records, my taxes? Vehicle registration, that makes sense. My spending? Sex offender status makes sense. License permits, that makes sense. Dietary preferences for what? So if you arrest me and you put me in a camp, you know that I'm a vegan? You know that I'm a I almost said Episcopalian. I don't know. What is that? Paleo diet? I don't know. Right? Outstanding parking fines and fees, that makes sense. Background check, that would make sense, right? Social credit score. So right now, if you guys don't like me, you can hit the like button 1,000,000 times or dislike button 1,000,000 times, whatever it may be, right? And then based on how people think, social credit score, like Black Mirror, social credit score. Now you can't fly. Now you can't do anything. Now you can't do this. You can't do that. And that's why I went on a look. New driver's license will include your vaccine status, may eventually include credit score, travel records, and social credit score. Here it is again, a little larger for you. Right? And this is Carolina Firearms Forum talking about it. So it's not just here. And this is the thing. And here's the tech talk, right? Oh, guys, it's one of those things, man. Right? It's one of those things. Here's CNET's tech. Driver's license digital. It's coming. It's coming. That's why they don't want you to invest. Again, this is about Christ and crypto in the morning. It's about crypto and all that. So all these things I'm talking about, it's not go out and rebel. It's go out and invest. Go out and do your research. Rebel through financial enrichment and wealth here, right, with this stuff. And then we have Christ, that your not financial health, but your spiritual health, your future, right? What happens after, how you live here. So how do you use that money? So I'm here to try to I'm not here to, I'm here to discuss both, talk with both. All things, And look, it's breaking Bitcoin right now, or the NASDAQ right now is breaking back up over 14,457 because it back tested support. So we follow that. We go back and we look at ZXRP. Let's see here. This is 3 minutes. I'm going to extend this real quick just to see where we are. Look at that. We bounced right off the pivot this morning, which was 81.2, which I thought we would get a little bounce here to come back up. Let's see what happens when we get to 82.4. Okay, that's what I see. Again, the little bro sees us coming down to 77 cents, which is an S2, which is not bad. The full extension on here is 78. So if I was to put in a long sometime around here, not financial advice, I'd be looking between 77 and 78 with a really tight stop loss. Really, really tight stop loss, because if this breaks and candle closes, the next stop is down here, which is 75, which we have not back test yet, which I would not, which would put us into this area here. 78.4, 78.5. So that's just a quick check-in on the XRP as I break over. Speaking of trading, and then we're going to jump into, man, I'm not even getting to all the news today. Morgan Stanley, Passy faces U.S. block trading probe. Investigators are said to examine hedge funds' communications. Passy, who went on leave, hasn't been accused of any wrongdoing. Morgan Stanley basically is being investigated right now for trading. Which is interesting. Hey guys, we're going to trade here. Speaking of trading, Pelosi and other stock trading pools would avoid capital gains under Elizabeth Warren's new tax. And I can't even, proposal. Look at this. This is news that I need to talk about. But I got to get my Christ time in, but we'll get there. So what this means is Elizabeth Warren's bipartisan bill banning stock trading on Capitol Hill has a little notice provision that could save lawmakers millions of dollars worth capital gains taxes. And Nancy Pelosi is signaling she likes it. If she likes it, you better go long. On the face of it, the forthcoming ban on Congressional Stock Ownership Act from Warren and Senator Steve Daines will be the most stringent, poised crackdown on stock trading to date. It wouldn't just ban members of Congress and their spouses from trading stocks and require them to put their assets in a blind trust like another popular Democratic proposal. It also would require them to sell off all individual holdings, stock holdings, altogether. Sources familiar with the bill told the Post. Nevertheless, according to a less notice provision in the bill, lawmakers who convert their stocks and also receive a massive sweetener, they will, that would be able to convert their stocks into broad-based investment funds or treasury bonds while deferring any capital gains while they sell off the new assets. If they die before selling the assets, the taxes would be waived altogether. Versus you, individual, this is important. If they die before, right, when all these guys are like 80, for real, they're really old, like 70, 80, 90 years old. They are, right? Towards the end, we know average age 72. The Lord says we're going to live 120 years at most. So Nancy's what, 129? I don't know. She's like 72 or something like that, right? And if they die before selling the assets, the taxes would be waived altogether. Now, here's the thing. If I gift you, right? If I gift you my house right now, me, an investment, and I die, you're paying taxes on my house. When you sell it, I won't, right? So no one sells, no one gets paid tax. No one, if you die, you don't pay taxes. If you die, you don't pay taxes. Obviously. So the taxes are waived altogether. But here's my question is, but if I give it to you, you have to pay the taxes on it. So whoever Nancy Pelosi gives it to, will she have to? Will they pay taxes on it? I think that's where the band is. That's where the band is. Right there. In Willen's view, the tax deferral would essentially give Pelosi and other stock-picking members of Congress interest-free loans from the government. Pelosi has not endorsed the Warren-Daines bill or any other proposed legislation with the stock trading members by Congress. That's crazy. In executive branch, capital gains deferrals have helped wealthy cabinet members save millions. When Hank Paulson quits as CEO of Goldman Sachs in 2006 to become George W. Bush's Treasury Secretary, he saved as much as $2 million in capital gains taxes, according to economist analysis and Rex Tillerson, who left his job as Rex Tillerson, who left his job as ExxonMobil CEO to join the Trump administration as Secretary of the State, has estimated $13 million in taxes through the rule, even though he was later fired. What's crazy here, though, $400 million? I mean, dang, good for them, because I'm not here to say do anything. Pay your taxes. Give to Caesar what is Caesar's. That's what I read in Scripture today, right, about the taxes, and then Jesus, tells Peter to go get fish go grab a fish out of the lake, take a shekel out and pay his taxes, when the Pharisees and Sadducees are like, Jesus, are you too good to pay taxes? And he goes, why you want to fight? Man, come on. Here's this coin. Whose face is on this coin? Oh, that's Caesar, 1 denarius. Oh, man, so Caesar owns that. So give to Caesar what is Caesar, pay your taxes, and give to your father what is your father's, our father's, and that's our spirit and our soul, our heart, our love. That money, that loan from the government, that's all it is. Government doesn't own it. They think they do. They have the love of money, and it shows here. It shows here, which is why they want to get it all down. I mean, they want so badly for you not to do well. And I'm in the state. I'm not here to call evil evil, right? Because I don't know her specifically. And we all have sins. I sin every day. I sin all the time. I am sometimes a very horrible person in my own mind, just like all of you are sometimes. Sometimes you're just really down on yourself, right? That doesn't make you evil. So before I say this, but I believe that these certain people love money so much. The love of money is their God so much that doesn't care what happens to you. They don't want you to have money. They want their money. How do I know this? Because here's another article in The Economist. The charm of cryptocurrencies for white supremacists, white power and dark money. This is literally an article saying that cryptocurrency is for white supremacists. Anything that is about freedom and movement is white supremacy. Look at my face. I am not a white guy. I'm a mutt. I am everything. I have almost everything in me. Every ethnicity. I don't like to use the word black, but African American, right? Like the African with the American with African roots. I'm a Pacific Islander American. I have Filipino roots. My grandmother now I'm going to use the word black side. The black side of my family, right? She's half white. She came through a very bad way, right? So boom. And then, my grandfather on my mom's side, I believe, is a Spaniard, half Spaniard from Spain. So right there, you got black, you got white, Latino, and Asian, Pacific Islander. That's me. That's 4. I love cryptocurrency. I really like, we use love in a different term, but I really like cryptocurrencies. I love what it does in a sense. I don't love it like, and this is why Greece guys had like 7 different words. There's agape, which is how God loves us, right? Agape love, So I love, as in hobby, career, this crypto world. But this is insane to me. So if you got it, go check it. It's February 5th, 2022. And that's what that is. So speaking of love, if we've gotten this far, hit that like button for your brother. Make sure to comment, share, do those things. I appreciate it. Good morning, Mr. Alex Diaz. It's good to see you. Sorry about yesterday. Valentine's Day. On Monday, the kid ate way too many sweets, went to school yesterday, and she never eats sweets anymore. She's actually lost like 25 pounds since she's come down here. She's eating better. She's eating healthy, more active. We did the VR yesterday. She was playing Creed. We both did, even though she's supposed to be homesick. And she also got in the pool yesterday, even though she's supposed to be homesick. But she just ate too much chocolate in her stomach. And then I made her walk to the bus stop at 6:45 in the morning because she wanted to eat all that chocolate anyway. So lesson learned. But that's what, life is about sometimes. Lessons learned and love. Lessons learned and love. That's one of the things I'm going to shamelessly begin to plug because you guys stopped by here. I wrote a book called Learning to Love in the Wilderness. A 40-day journey of discovery and learning to love myself by accepting the love of Jesus. It's on Amazon. It's on eBay. It's anywhere you Google and search. Anywhere you Google and search Learning to Love in the Wilderness by Christian Israel. You see it right there. You can buy it at Walmart. Different discounts. Look at that. $12.82 right there. If you do just want a copy, shoot me a message. Email me. You shoot me a message or email me. You can DM me on Instagram at New Creation Cap. The TikTok is at New Creation Capital. Twitter. DM me on Twitter. If you just want a book, I'll just give you one. Shoot me a thing. I'll mail it to you. There's no, I got a whole thing of them. So if you just want a book or you want to buy one, it's up to you. But if you want one, I will just give it to you. These are made to just give out. And this is about, my struggle, my testimony. For you guys that don't know, I used to travel the world, tell people God didn't exist. And then he humbled me. And he continues to humble me. And I continue to need to be humbled. I need to be humbled. We all need to be humbled because we need to know what Jesus has done for us. Sometimes we forget and we step out of our circle. And it can be tough on everybody around. When you step out of your circle, it doesn't just hurt you, it hurts everyone. And it's important because once you learn the love of Christ and what he has done for you, it makes you understand how you should treat others. Even though you don't do well all the time, you know, we treat others based on how our day is. And sometimes that's not the best. And I am no better than that. And that's kind of what I wrote this about. And so I just opened up, and I'm going to read just a little bit. This is day 35, so I wrote for 40 days. This is back in 2017 to 2018, December to January. It's a nice little book, man. I like it. So here's a little example. I start out with scripture sometimes, so back towards the end, it's more scripture. So those of you who've stopped by and you're going to check out now, appreciate you. If you're still here, hit that like button, guys. Thank you so much. Here's a little bit on page 157. January 23rd, 2018, 3:30 p.m. This is when I started to write, and here's how it starts. If you love me, you will keep my commandments. And I will ask the Father, and he will give you another helper to be with you forever, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive because it neither sees him nor knows him. You know him, for he dwells with you and will be in you. That is John 14, verses 15 and 17. I just looked to the side. Alex, you can buy with XRP, brother. I appreciate you. So here I write. So, who is the helper? The question is answered in a few verses. But the helper, the Holy Spirit, who the Father will send in my name, he will teach you all things and bring to you remembrance that I have said to you. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. Over the past 34 days in my search for the love of God and Jesus, I have searched the scriptures and matched them up with my experiences in order to truly learn to love myself and accept the love of Jesus. This search doesn't end with God and Jesus. Then God said, let us make man in our own image and after our likeness. I believe it is important to state that the word does not specifically identify who the us is. Some scholars have suggested that God may be addressing different members of his court like angels, but significant objection is that the man is not made in the image of angels. There is no indication that angels participated in the creation of human beings. I do not claim to be a scholar or a theologian. I only speak from what God has revealed to me in my personal experience. I believe the us is God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, the helper. During my search for God, I believe During my search for God, I believe that with every part of me that he revealed himself to me and showed me that his son is Jesus Christ. The next thing for me to do is to receive the Holy Spirit. Before I get into my experience when I received the Holy Spirit, I want to dive into the scriptures say about the event that happened during the Pentecost and as described in the book of Acts, which was written by Luke. And I'm going to stop there because this is a pretty deep chapter. This is a pretty deep chapter. I wish I could have read about 5 minutes earlier. But the Bible, Christ, the Word, it's truth. And that's what we need right now in a world of lies. This is the devil's world. The lies can get you. They can get you. They can stress you out. They can push you. Cause you to have all types of anxiety, which I know everybody feels at some point in time during the day. Like there's just something missing. I'm missing something. I'm missing something. Something. I'm missing something. What am I missing? But if you open up your heart to him, he will fill that void. And I say this every day, but it won't be easy, but it will be worth it. I struggle every day with being in the world and being with my God. Because we're human, but we're made in his image, so he fills that void. So when you learn to love him first, that will transition to loving others because you will love yourself by understanding what he does for you, what he did for you, what he continues to do for you. Through his power, his love, and his mercy, and his grace, and his sacrifice, and his salvation. Through that, coming from him to us, we will push that through to others. We don't need FUD. We need love, truth, grace, and Jesus. And that's how we build community. I appreciate you guys so much. Like I said, if you guys get a chance, you want to copy the book, shoot me an email, shoot me a message. Or if you want to go support, you can go buy it. I'll just give it to you. Up to you. But thank you guys so much for kicking it with me today. It is time for me to go. It's time for me to call this a go. It's time for me to call this a go. So, until next time, guys, this is your boy Christian Israel, and you are tuned into New Creation Capital Podcast, Christ in Crypto in the morning. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow, 9 a.m. Catch me here on the spot. As always, I love you guys. God be with you, and God bless. I will talk to you guys later. On the end credits, we are out. Thank you, Alex Diaz, Dragonfire, Crypto Bush on XRP for stopping by in the chat today, and anybody else who watches this later. Leave those comments. Do that social media thing. Until next time, guys, love you. God bless. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share this video, subscribe to this channel, and do the thing that people do on social media. At Twitter, at TikTok, New Creation Capital. Let us know, guys. Thanks so much. I hope you guys have a great day. Later, guys.
Try to be stylish. Solid rock is keeping me